Yo, what's going on, guys? Today, Guardian Takedown's coming out. I wanted to repost and update my Swiss Army Knife Zane build. This is the Zane build I will be bringing to the Guardian Takedown. Make sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Turn on notifications. When the Guardian Takedown comes out, I'm going to be running it. I'm going to upload a video instantly. And this is the build I'm going to be using and some tips I recommend for you guys to use as well. So yeah, let's get straight into it. Now, if you guys have never seen one of my Swiss Army Knife Zane builds, basically this is supposed to be the jack of all trades. It's called the Swiss Army Knife because this is a general build. We're not tuned into anything specifically, but it's also just very similar to any meta See and Dead Zane build, and it's really cool. You get to use any action skill you want. You can actually switch mid-fight. We have access to all of the great clone skills and the clone abilities, which can definitely come in handy in some situations. You can toss on your barrier. Of course, we can use our drone anytime. So let's pretty much go over it. Now, let me take off my class mod just to show you guys the actual skill trees. Now, basically what's really cool about this build is instead of min-maxing, we are spending our skill points pretty evenly across the trees and across all the different skills. Now, Zane is powerful enough with See and Dead that we can get away with this right now. And that's why I love this build, especially with the Mayhem scaling coming down. This build is even stronger. And yeah. Now, when I say we're not min-maxing, it's just by a little bit. Basically, as you can see, I've spent 4 points into reload speed, 4 points into playing dirty, a couple points into some fire rate. This is the blue tree I generally like to run. Now, the main change here is that I actually took points out of synchronicity into duct tape mod. Now, I have talked about diminishing returns with gun damage a lot, and synchronicity is one of our, this isn't our best damage bonus. Our best damage bonuses with Zane comes from Donnybrook and Violent Momentum. So I've been playing like this for a long time. You won't miss these points, I promise. Now, Duct Tape Mod is one of those weird skills where it was kind of like Torg Cross Promotion before it got buffed. It kind of was just not worth it for the points, in my opinion, and in many people's opinions. But the fact that gun damage gets diminishing returns so hard, I have actually been using this skill, and it's pretty nice to just toss out a couple extra grenades, especially because I use the recurring hex grenade a lot. It's really good with See and Dead, and it's also really good with Brain Freeze. Yeah, the recurring hex grenade can actually trigger Brain Freeze, which is really awesome. Now, if you actually don't plan on using the clone, just take these points and spend them into Synchronicity or Praemunitus, or maybe some extra borrowed time if you want. It's really up to you if you really don't plan on using the clone, but I love the clone. I love using him, so this is where I spend my points. And yeah, we have pretty straightforward skill trees otherwise, but just this idea and this concept of spending your points in more general places so that we can actually have access to the Digiclone whenever we want is pretty cool. Now, what I want to go over next is the gear and basically what you're looking for in terms of stat rolls when it comes to Zane. So when it comes to Zane, some of you heard me say weapon damage has diminishing returns. Now, I'm not going to explain it, but basically Zane has tons of weapon damage in his skill trees already. So you don't need to look for weapon damage rolls on class mods. You really don't. This class mod is a perfect example of what you are looking for. You're looking for crit bonuses, you're looking for splash damage, or you're looking for weapon type or weapon specific bonuses. In this instance, I have heavy weapon damage, but this could include SMG, assault rifle, pistol damage. Basically, these are not bonus weapon damage. These are something else. They're kind of multiplicative versus additive, but that's not exactly the right term. Just these rolls are better. That's the point I'm trying to make. When it comes to your artifact, you can really use whatever you want. I always keep a cut purse launchpad in my inventory, but mainly you're going to want to stick to the Icebreaker or the Snowdrift. The Snowdrift is the highest damaging artifact you can use on Zane. Hands down, there's no competition. But this, obviously that's only while you're sliding, so it only gives you peak damage bonuses. The Icebreaker is very good for mobbing otherwise when you're not always going to get those slides off. But keep in mind, you can mob with a Snowdrift and a Scourge, for example, or a Plague Bear or a Hive. You can slide and shoot out those rocket launchers that'll hit a ton of enemies at a time. And yeah. Besides that, you can really use whatever shield you want. Old God is a great option. I really recommend. Big Boom Blaster is really cool. This can actually let you abuse rockets a bit more. You guys know I love the one-shotter. Hopefully they fix legendary amp shields, which are currently bugged. Well, technically we don't know that, but they don't work the same as the one-shotter or just amp rolls in general. Like if you find a Big Boom Blaster with 2 amp rolls on it, that is better than a legendary amp shield, just so you guys know. Next, I really recommend the recurring hex grenade, but there are some other cool options like quasars. Even the fish slap grenade paired with a cut purse artifact is a pretty cool option. And then besides that, when it comes to weapons, you just want to use good weapons in the game. If it is a good weapon in this game, it is good on Zane. Zane's best friend is the redistributor, as you can see here. I got a shotgun with Sentinel Cryo for the Guardian Takedown, because those are shielded enemies. And shock enemy and armored enemies. Excuse me. Besides that, I love using weapons like the Monarch. Now, one weapon I actually am going to recommend is the Chaosin. The Chaosin, because this is actually a splash weapon, it is in a unique position where if I am using splash rolls on my class mod, which I am, this gives this a huge damage increase. So the fact that this is a splash weapon, kind of look at splash weapons as slag weapons on Zane. It's a pretty cool comparison because we have access to these splash weapons. It gives us access to these splash rolls, which significantly increases the damage, and it's actually why the Chaosin is one of the best single target SMGs on Zane. Finally, the last recommendation I will be making for the Guardian Takedown is a low-level Ruby's Wrath. Now, basically, if you guys played BL2, you guys remember rocket jumping. Basically, the Ruby's Wrath allows you to rocket jump. Now, the Guardian Takedown is going to be low gravity. There's going to be puzzles. There's going to be platforming. And actually, if you wear a Transformer with the Ruby's Wrath, you will absorb some of the ammo. Now, the reason why you need a low-level Ruby's Wrath is so that you don't kill yourself. If this was a level 57 Mayhem 10 Ruby's Wrath, we would down ourselves in one shot. So there's a couple tricks on YouTube. I'll actually look for a YouTube video about how to get low-level weapons. There's a couple different ways to do this. And I'll post that in a pinned comment down below. There's a couple. I never made a video about this, but there's a couple videos out there. And yeah, so that is pretty much it for the Swiss Army Knife build. I actually just wanted to update a little bit before the Guardian Takedown, give you guys some tips of what I am going to be doing. This is going to be the first build I run with. And yeah, so if you guys like this video, don't forget to drop a like on it and subscribe to the channel for more Borderlands 3 videos. Hope you guys come check out the videos I will be posting later today of my first Guardian Takedown run. I'll have the face cam on and everything. And yeah, we're going to be posting more content later on, testing the 300% damage anoint, which depending if they changed it or not, could drastically change some things in the game. Look out for airborne anointments. Depending how much they buffed it by, that is going to be a go-to anointment on Zane. Just so you guys know, it is very strong. It is fully multiplicative with everything. And it's a very strong anointment. So yeah, besides that, guys, that is pretty much it. Comment down below what you think about this build. You guys know I love playing Borderlands and I love doing this, but that is it for the video. I'm not going to drag it on any longer. I'll see you guys in the next one. I'm out.